This is episode 219 of the Super League pod. We've got loads of serious stuff on the show this week, from junior development through global expansion to deadbeat mascots and Disney princesses. We've got your fan reviews from across the weekend's action, news from around the world of rugby league, and an update from our friends at Newton. Batten down the hatches, there's an SLP storm coming. Hello listeners, it's Mark here with episode 219 of the Super League pod, and if it sounds a bit more echoey than normal, we're off the headset this week and we're in the kitchen, and I'm joined by Warrington fan Leigh Whitnell. Leigh, welcome back to the show.
Thank you for having me as always. Cheers mate.
So those who don't know Leigh, we'll find out a little bit more about Leigh in a little while, but firstly, do you want to tell us who the sponsor of this episode is?
So episode 219 is sponsored by Little Warden. If you have a website, then visit littlewarden.com and see what they can do to help you. They can help you with domain expiration checks, redirects, and all sorts of other important background web stuff that they'll make simple for you. What's on the show?
Yeah, that was meant to be next time. I haven't written that bit in this week. So, we're going to catch up with you in a second, Leigh, because those who have listened to you when you were on the show last year will know that you are a budding coach in the world of rugby league. So we're going to get to that in a second. We've got some news, which we'll touch on the expansion topic again, because Robert Elston's been chatting about that last week. We've got some fan reviews from all the games in Super League, although not tons because there was only one TV game, but we'll rattle through those, as well as all the other big results from around the world of rugby league. And I hastily did a quiz for you.
Brilliant.
I'd not had much chance to do it today, but I've hastily done a quiz for you before you arrived, so that's very exciting. So we've got plenty to crack on with. I was spotting what other things I've forgotten to write down and fill down this week. But first of all, let's catch up about your coaching badges and how you're going on coaching the junior sides at the Newton Storm, one of the community clubs that we support here at the Super League pod.
Yeah, so I moved. I was under sevens coach at Newton Storm last year. Moved up to under eights with the squad. So we've hit the ground running this year. We kind of it's just amazing to see the development in the kids. They've kind of come on so much when you look at what they were like this time last year, and so nervous, and that a lot of them had never played rugby before, to now they're kind of winning games and throwing the ball around and sort of like brave and in tackles and what have you. It's brilliant to see. So they're doing really well. My lad's in the team, and he scored his first try of the season this weekend. So that was good. He doesn't score many. He's more of a meter maker.
Okay.
We normally sort of score tries sort of a play or two after he's
sets
ran
up
the ball.
Position.
Yeah.
Kind of like Tommy Bakinson there. He does all the meters, and then Regan Grace on the other side gets all the glory.
Well, he watches like clips of Tom Burgess, because Tom Burgess is his favourite player.
Right.
And so he tries and sort of emulates that as best he can as a sort of 4 foot little kid. But yeah, so that's brilliant. And then we're a proper rugby family now, because my youngest son Isaac, he's just joined the under sevens.
Wow.
So my wife is taking on the team manager role there, so doing the admin and what have you. So kind of
loving that.
So we're
integral to the Newton community now.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So yeah, and he got his first try of the season this weekend as well. So
that's good, isn't it? One didn't outdo the other. They both get to celebrate.
They both got one try each and 7 tackles each in the game. So they were absolutely equal. So it was So that was awesome. So that's brilliant.
How's the backyard training progressing?
Yeah. Well, I've just borrowed a tackling pad off my mate. So So it's
stop them tackling the shit out of each other.
Yeah, they do that in the front room. I'm frightened they're going to knock the telly over one of these days. But yes, that's all going brilliant. And then the club itself, Newton Storm Club, just going from strength to strength as well. Just set up an open age team that my fellow coach Dan is the captain of. So we're getting down on Saturday afternoons and watching that, and they're flying. They're doing really well. I think they've only lost one game this season. Our under 16s are absolutely flying. We've got I think the semi-finals of the cup competition that they're in. They're playing Stiddle in a couple of weeks.
They've done well to get to the semi-final.
They've knocked out Lock Lane last round. They've got. I was quite kind of chatting to you a bit off mic before, but they've got 8 of their lads are signed by local clubs, and we had 3 of them that went away with England, or what was that? The elite kids performance, or
so they've put together a academy performance squad, haven't they? Which is a big group of players, 50 or so.
Yeah, 62 I think. Right, it was. Yeah, I remember it.
We did the list a few weeks ago.
Yeah. So 3 of those were from, considering that's a national, there were kids going from all over. 3 of them were from our under 16s.
That's absolutely fantastic when you think about the community clubs we've backed in the past as well. There was some Brentwood Eels kids in that team as well from down in Essex, and so we're back in the right brands here. You were talking as well about something that's helping inspire the young kids at the Storm as well, as some of the players are now getting that recognition as well, but also starting to appear on the team sheets or in the squad list and that sort of stuff around the big teams, Super League and NRL.
Yeah. Well, we're sort of a new team, so we haven't really got the sort of names that have come through in the past, really. Sort of our names are kind of rugby union names that have come through a long time ago. So we've got Tom Nisbet, who's currently in the Saints sort of under 19 setup. He played for England under 19s, I think, last year. He's sort of on the cusp of something this year, I think. So he came up through our ranks, and then Herbie Farnworth, who's currently at the Brisbane Broncos. He was so he was with us a few years ago. So obviously went out there chasing his dream, and he's doing really well there. So I've heard some good stuff about him as well. So he's very quick. So as a winger and a fullback, and I think he might get a chance in a couple of years potentially. So
well, he was around the sort of trial squads, wasn't he, earlier in the off season? So that's all really good for the Newton Storm. Yeah. So everything's progressing really well. Let's move on, shall we? Or do you have anything else to tell us about?
I'm just so proud of them all. No, that's great. How was your week? What have you been up to?
Nothing exciting. So you've been in Cancun and come over here like a tanned god, whereas I
always like to go on holiday before I come on this show.
You do, don't you? You tag me on the end of your holiday. I've finally shook the cold off. So that's probably been the most positive thing of my week. Nothing really other than that to report. I've been busy trying to push the fan survey that we're to talk about. We've got a really good amount of numbers actually of responses so far, but I think we're a little ways off the amount we'll need to make an impression on the powers that be. So I'm going to remind everyone again to fill in the survey. It's really quick to do. There's only, I think, 5 mandatory questions, and most of those are just tick boxes, and the one that isn't is what team you support. So so you should be able to nail that. Loads of people have indicated that they want to be involved in any follow-up stuff we've got, so I've been putting together some follow-up surveys about some of the key themes that are coming out of the answers we're getting so far, which is really cool because that's where we can get some real detail to kind of put out there. But we need more numbers, basically. So the link to the survey is going to be in the blog post. It's all over our social media pages as well, at Super League Pod on Twitter and facebook.com/Super League Pod. So please, people, go and share it in your... I think particularly forums and Facebook pages work really well because fan bases go on there regularly. I've done it in Wigan forums and Wigan Facebook pages and that sort of thing, and probably we've got more Wigan respondents than anyone else. I know a couple of people have thrown them up in some other places. I put in some Wakefield fan pages, some Hull KR fan pages. They've got really big numbers of people who've contributed. Hull KR fans don't like referees or Thursday night games, I've learned. But yeah, there's a few other teams that maybe haven't had as many respondents. So please, if you are listening and you want us to try and build up a bigger picture of what your fans of your club and all the clubs are thinking, put it on your Facebook pages and stuff like that, and share it on Twitter into share it with groups that'll respond to this sort of thing. Because I think we're getting some consistent themes coming out that if we can really put some solid information together, we can start sending stuff off and say, look, this is what the fans are saying. and see if people will listen. So yeah, that's fantastic. And one that I didn't write down actually on the sheet, but I wanted to give a bit of a shout out mention to is our friends down in the southwest, the Tamebridge Trojans. They're looking for sponsorship again for the new season. If you go on there, search for Tamebridge Trojans on Facebook, and you'll find some details there. We've from the Super League pod, Kitty, we've thrown some money in like we did a couple of years ago to kind of help re-up, because I think they had the same kit for the first 2 years, and now they need a new kit generated, some interest in it and that sort of stuff. So everyone go and check those guys out and see how they're doing down there, because we do support the growth of the game across the country as well as in our regions up here. So yeah, that's the shout outs. I think now might be a nice time to move on to news from around the world of rugby league. News now from around the world of rugby league, and we start with a news story close to your heart, Leigh, with England and Warrington hooker Darryl Clark signing an extension to his contract with the Wire, which will now expire at the end of the 2023 season. Clark, who's 26, joined the Wolves from Castleford after the 2014 season. Can you believe he's had 5 years at Warrington, which is pretty much your entire time of being a Warrington fan, I suppose.
It is. Yeah. I think he came the season after I started sort of following him, but yeah, he is a quality player. He's my favourite player in the Warrington team. He's integral to everything that we do, and I was pretty sure he'd take an opportunity in the NRL at some point, which he might still. But you know, while ever he's here, and he deserves to be paid, you know, the big money, and that's, I'm guessing, what's happening here. So
yeah, you'd think maybe he's in that group now who get re-upped to senior player wages. He's arguably having his best season so far in the Warrington shirt. His best season so far was that 2014 season, wasn't it, Cass? But maybe in a Warrington shirt, best season?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it was quality. I thought 2016 he was absolutely brilliant, and I think last season he was great as well. But yeah, he's just getting better and better, I think. So it's fantastic news.
Okay, do you want to take us through the next story?
Yep. Hull Kingston Rovers player Joe Wardle has been forced to retire from rugby league at the age of 21. The centre/back row has struggled with a number of hip injuries over the past 3 years. Wardle will still be involved with the club after accepting the role of assistant coach for their new women's team.
Tom Andrews, our resident Hull KR fan, alongside Tim G as well, but Tom Andrews said, "Well, we are royally screwed now. Once in a generation players can't be replaced easy." That's playing on a joke that Tom's been running for a while, but he says, "In all seriousness, how sad to make it to first grade in your dream job you will have worked towards since when you were small, and to have to retire so young. Good luck coaching our new women's team and whatever other ventures you are part of." Yeah, it is sad. Someone forced to retire at that age. I think credit to the club for keeping the lad around. Yeah. They've really tried to help him through his injuries. They've obviously seen him as a quality bloke as well as a quality potentially rugby league player when he was coming up through the ranks, so he can help out there in that women's team and stay around the club. I think you got to give clubs credit when they support players who've obviously gone through a hard time there, like young Joe has.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things about the salary cap, isn't it? You kind of like a lot of clubs don't have that luxury of being able to look after players as they're kind of on their way out, and when they do stuff like this, it shows a lot of class. So.
Hull KR have also moved to sign Anthony Maria from Super League rivals Catalan Dragons on an initial 1-month loan. The 32-year-old former Leigh player has made 60 appearances for the Dragons in 2 spells with the French side, and Tom Andrews didn't let us down. He got in touch on this story as well. He said, "Being a fan of every French player Hull KR have had recently, hopefully the streak continues. Definitely feels a big gap until Mitch and Mossy are back at least." Yeah, they were thin up front, so they've done something about that.
Yep. Castleford's Michael Shenton has been ruled out for several months with an ankle injury. The Tigers captain suffered the injury at the club's recent defeat to Catalans and will miss 8 to 10 weeks.
That's not several months, is it?
No. 8 weeks.
I should check what I'm copy-pasting. In other injury news, Wakefield have confirmed that Joe Arundel and Matty Ashurst are set for spells on the sidelines after picking up injuries. Arundel is set to be out for up to 3 months after undergoing surgery on a pec muscle injury that he suffered scoring a try in the Easter clash against Castleford. Then second rower Ashurst is expected to be out for 5 weeks after picking up a foot injury, so more injury woes in West Yorkshire.
Castleford Tigers forward Matt Cook has signed a 12-month contract extension which will keep him at the Super League club until the end of 2020.
Senior player boy is going well.
Yeah.